Welcome to I Love Stocks. Today, we're going to bring a special guest in today, and he's been trading with Jake for a long time, and he's one of the founders of TrendSpider. He's got a new uh, item that he's using. It's called the new scanner, so he can scan any time frame. And I'm going to hand this straight over to Jake and let him do his talking about his new scanner on TrendSpider.
Thank you so much for having me, Jimmy. 1 second, I'm going to have to mess around with this. We'll pull this up. And you should be able to see my screen now. Can you see it?
Oh, yeah.
Alrighty. So this is a very new feature on TrendSpider. We've always been known as a charting platform, but this kind of allows us to be a technical analysis platform as well. So what we have is the ability to scan for any type of condition across any type of time frame. So you'll see here that you can use that are predefined templates that we've already come up with. Some generic ones like moving average crosses. We've got the TD sequential in here. We also have a few different divergent scans as well, different engulfing candle scans, but you can also create your own conditions. So let's say that you're a swing trader and you're looking for potential hammers on the weekly candle into next week. And today's Thursday, Friday may be a day you want to start looking at maybe starting a position if the candle continues to look like a hammer. What you can do is you can go and let's just do the Russell 2000 and we can scan for the current candle that's in force. So that means if we go to the weekly candle and we look for a weekly hammer, it's looking for a hammer that's currently formed on the weekly candle, even though there's still a day left in the trading week. So what we can do here is we can kind of get prepared and see, okay, this is potentially forming as a hammer into Friday. This may be something to look at. So essentially what we can do here is we can scan for these setups without having to go through every single chart and look for these potential setups. Go to the daily, go to the weekly. You can easily just say, I want to look for a weekly hammer that's currently forming, and voila, it's there with a ton of other stocks that are currently forming that as well. So what's really cool about this is once you've created a list here, you can save it. Let's just do hammer weekly. You can save it here. You can go to show sidebar, and then we can go down and pick up hammer weekly. And whenever we want to redo this scan, all we need to do is just refresh it. We don't actually have to go down here and do everything again. All of these different symbols can change by tomorrow if we just refresh this and do it again. So it's essentially having like a scanned watch list that you can then scan whenever you want. Any questions, Jimmy, on that?
No, I really like that. I really like that because it kind of gives you a comparison of that setup that you're trying to look for.
Yep, exactly. And so if we go to a different stock, it may be a little bit of a different hammer. It may be at a different point in the trend. I mean, look at this. You've got literally 6 weeks down in a row, and you've got this possible hammer forming. And look what happened last time this formed, and last time and I wouldn't call this a hammer, but it was pretty close. So,
yep.
Without me having to go and search for these, I now have ICD that is possibly going to be on my watch list going into Friday's trading. So it's something that's really cool, something that's, very easy to use. It's just a very simple Boolean algebra type setup down here, a visual interface. And, you can scan for anything. You can scan for a hammer. You can scan for a weekly hammer with a daily, MACD cross if you want. So you can really mix and match up to 3 different time frames. You can mix and match any of these conditions. And then, you just let the system kind of do it for you. I don't know if we're going to get anything here with a MACD fast cross on the daily. And look, you can see a couple. So if we go to the daily, we've got this weekly hammer trying to form. But if we go to the daily MACD, you'll see we recently just crossed here. So being able to put all of those together is really important and really crucial when you're trading, because you're not just going to look for one condition. Sometimes you're looking for 5 different things to occur before you really want to look at something. So Jimmy, based on this, you want to take a look at one of these, maybe H, B, and C?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me get your thing back up here.
H, B, and C.
Yep. I think I'm having a little trouble seeing your chart that well. It's a little like foggy. And this one doesn't look like it's got a ton of price action on the 5-minute. Maybe go to Jim, if you want to do a scan real quick, you can do one on your chart as well.
Yeah, but like I was showing you earlier, I couldn't.
Well, if you just do one on a higher time frame. So if you go and click add parameter. Yeah, oh nope, you just had it. Down. Yep, right there. Then you can create whatever condition. So if you wanted to just look for, scroll down and go to the weekly, and then you just go to candlestick pattern, hammer, and you just type that in. You could just type it in into that search bar. Yep, and just pick the top one. TPS is the pattern site. That's just Thomas Bulkowski's website that also has its own definitions of a hammer.
Yeah,
so
came up on that one.
We'll do that's just the Dow Jones. So if you want to search for the Russell 2000, just go click that. Go a little to the middle of the screen. Yep, and then click. Go to all the way down to the Russell 2000, and we'll find a couple different things. And try scanning that. There we go.
All right, we've got a few up there. As you can tell, I'm new to this, and it's good that he's showing me how to use this program.
Honestly, it's brand new. It's only been around for about 8 trading days. So, there's still a lot of things people are messing around with, looking for. So for this, the weekly hammer, Jim, you're going to want to go to the daily, or excuse me, the weekly time frame. You're on the daily right now on your chart. There we go. And so what you're seeing now is you just looked for a weekly hammer that's already formed. So you can see this. You had your weekly hammer last week, and you got your huge continuation this week.
Yep. You talking about this hammer right in here?
Yep, because if you wanted to search for current hammers that are forming now, you'd want to turn on that current candle box right there, right next to the Russell 2000 index. You just had it on. Nope, a little to the right. There you go. And scan it again, and it will give you different results.
Oh, okay.
So you can just exit out of that. And then any of these should be forming a hammer on the weekly candle right now. Some of them aren't going to be as textbook as others, but I mean, generally you'll find a very strong hammer on a lot of these. So this is BKE. You've got a very long wick here on this one.
Here's some right back down here, yeah. So I just kind of scroll through these and look for what I think is a good setup.
Yep, and then once you find a chart that you like, you can then kind of, you can add it to an individual watch list you already have, or one that you want to create, and then you can kind of go from there.
Yep. See, we had like nice little trend going up here on CCNE. It was up just 0.7%, but it's fell back a lot. It did have a new high today. So if I wanted to kind of draw me a little trend line on this, I'd go right into here, just right about like this. We were on up. Needed the resistance we needed to break would have been on this one right here. So right at about, I'm thinking right there, right around 31.97. If I wanted to do that alone. So if I wanted to go ahead and put a, well, let me pull her back a little bit farther, look for another support level. I've seen that it's coming on a downtrend for right now, but we're right into the trend line right here. So if this holds right here, we could have a retracement bounce back on up to this resistance level of 31.97 and then try to break that other high right there. So that's kind of the way I'm looking at it right now. I'm going to draw me another trend line right here. And then just in case, or if it does pull back, I'm going to try to look for a support. I know that this is a solid support with this upper trend line right here because it's followed that path all the way up. This is on a weekly, so every week, you know, we're moving on over. So basically, I think it can go ahead and retrace, bounce up here, and maybe hit this first resistance level right in here, and I'm going to drive that trend line.
That was quite the move down too. What, from
Yeah.
33 to 28, and I guess not too much. It's just been kind of a very controlled move down.
Yeah, about a 2-month period. For
And
right
so,
now, they might have you a nice little support rebounce back up to this 30.21, and we're sitting right now at the 28.79 level, so that could be a pretty good little bounce. Now, if I think it can go down one more time, I'm going to put that in there. I'd probably draw me a support line right here at this spot right here and then set me an alert on it. I'm going to go ahead and use this touch, and then I'm going to do what you call that?
this is the sensitivity
Sensitivity.
zone. So
Yeah.
it's for those times where, you know, there may be a big wick on the candle and you're not able to get the exact price. You're able to use the sensitivity zone to have a little bit of margin of error there.
Yeah. So right now we've got it on the daily. I'm just going to go ahead and create that alert. The sensitivity is going to show up here on this one right here. So
Yep. Anytime the price gets anywhere near that or touches it, you'll be alerted.
And then I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. I think I can do that. Edit the alert.
On the sensitivity zone, once you've created an alert, you can't go back, but you
Okay.
can easily just make another one.
We'll make it a little bit wider. That looks a lot better.
One thing I want to mention about the confirmation candle that's cool, you can change that. So let's say that you did want to be alerted maybe when the 1 hour candle closes in that area because you want to actually make a purchase intraday. You're
Yep.
able to change that confirmation candle to a lower time frame. So that's something that's really useful as well.
And I can do that by changing the time frame up here. Or?
No, if in the alert that you just had, you had the
Yep.
confirmation candle in there. So you'll see here at the at next row it says confirmation candle. It says the alert will fire when a candlestick on this time frame closes that matches the
Yeah.
trigger criteria. So that allows you to, you know, catch some of those intraday moves without having to wait for the daily candle to close, because sometimes then, you know, it's too late because most of the time you can't buy after market unless you're just trading, you know, extended hours.
Yeah.
So then you'd maybe even want to scroll in even more to the 30-minute or, you know, whatever. You can do that too.
Let's just go, well, yeah, I'll take it to the hour. Let's see what 30-minute does.
Yep. So whenever the 30-minute candle closes anywhere within that area, you'll be alerted.
That I like. I like them shorter time frames because you know how I like to trade. I like to take my profit when I can.
Yep, exactly. So no, there's
All right.
there's a ton of different things. You know, this is just the scanner. The scanner is an amazing tool on the platform, but it's not the only tool on the platform. So, you know, if you find this interesting and you want another platform to kind of look at that you can do a lot of different technical analysis on, TrendSpider is definitely one to check out.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yep. So all of these are weekly hammers right now.
Yep. There's another one I'm kind of liking. Looks like it's kind of settled down. Hit that support level right here and could bounce back up, but
Yep.
there's the little hammer right there.
Yep.
Little weekly hammer. There's a little bit of wick above it, but
Yep, yeah, and you know, like I said, one of the things that I don't have a ETA on this. I don't even have a plan of action. But one thing that I'd like to do that we've talked about is be able to customize those so you can actually, have a little more control over what you call a hammer, because one person may call one thing a hammer and another person may not. So being able
Yeah.
to adjust those rules is something we're looking at too. Got a little pennant there too.
Yep, that's what I was looking at. Could be ready to break out again.
Interesting.
There's your little pennant flag. This is on BANF.
Yeah, I haven't even heard of that stock.
No,
And that's the cool thing, it's not just a scanner for, I want to search the Russell 2000 and find any random stock possible. Let's say that you already have a watch list of 100 stocks. You're able to search that particular watch list too. So you're not just finding a bunch of random stocks. You're scanning through stocks that you're already familiar with.
yep. So I'm looking at BKE right now. We got a nice little dragonfly candle right here, maybe ready for a breakout. Above that, who knows? But that is a descending pattern though, so it can probably fall back a little bit farther. So if I'm thinking about that, I might set me an alert right down here at this lower support level, right around. We'll set one right here for the first alert, just in case it pulls back and retraces this bottom part here. So I'm going to go ahead and set me an alert right there off this dragonfly candle, which is almost a hammer, which is a bullish. You have a gravestone, you have the dragonfly. So I'm going to set that up. I like where I've got that set. Set it on the daily. Well, I'm going to move this up to that 30 minutes. That's the lowest time frame we have right there.
And the cool thing is you can choose your trigger. So, let's say that you want to have the price touch this area. That's one trigger, but you can also have it just say, only alert me when this breaks through. So, Jim,
Yeah.
you'll have to choose which trigger you want. There you go.
There we go. Set up. Getting ready. Now, when alarm goes off, I'll be ready to look at it. I'll see if the momentum's there or if the volume's still there or if it's got any good or bad news. If not, I could set me another alert just a little bit farther down, and that would be right in this area right here where we had this ascending triangle breakout. Now, that's going to be a little bit stronger position maybe to get in this trade if it does decide to pull back. And I'm going to set me up a little alert on that one too. I could set up a couple, right? We'll
Yep.
pull this back to the top of this ascending triangle right there. Go ahead and set an alert on that one same way. Put it on that, yeah. Put it on the hour on this one. Now I've got two alerts set. So if I'm not happy with this descending triangle, which tells me that maybe it can pull back to the ascending triangle, which is a stronger support. And that's what I really like about this TrendSpider platform is you can set these alerts up, and this sensitivity barrier will get you right where you need to be, and it'll it's like a premature support level. It notifies you right when it's ready to go ahead and hit that line.
Yep.
And
No,
I have started using that a lot.
it's something that definitely helps you kind of have the system watch some of the price action for you, so you don't have to sit there and watch 20 screens at once. That's
Exactly.
kind of how it was invented for, is to be able to make the whole process of technical analysis more efficient. Whether you're at work, whether you're doing something and you don't have time to watch the chart all day, the system's there to watch it for you with the alert system.
Yep.
So, well, I think we've kind of shared a couple different examples. This is something that is, as I mentioned, not just a scanner, not just an alert system. We have an entire automation side of the platform where you can automate trend lines, not to replace what you're doing by hand, but to complement your discretionary analysis and look for these areas quicker than you normally would without having to add any bias or anything.
Yeah, and you've got a lot of different kind of scans over here. I mean, I'm just going through all of them. You got the bear double inside breakdown, the alligator hustle bullish. which kind of sounds pretty neat to me. I've played with that alligator chart before. The SMA pullback, bullish pullback.
Yep, and so then it just pops up right there.
Yep.
And so these are just predefined ones that we've already created. You can go and create your own and then save them, so you can have these, saved in your list, so you don't have to keep replicating it. So it's very efficient and user friendly as well.
Yep. All right. Well, that sounds great.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me today, Jim. It was great to be on and share some new things on the platform, and look forward to having you guys on a webinar again soon.
Okie dokie. Thank you very much, Jake. And we do appreciate you in the room and all the advice you give us, all the alerts that you show us. And I hope everybody kind of thinks about trying the TrendSpider platform out. We are an affiliate with Jake and TrendSpider, and we wish him the best of luck.
Thank you so much, Jim, and we'll definitely be in touch very soon. And everyone have a happy day trading tomorrow.
Thank you.